last years. Many labor-saving devices were created to help the efficiency of the economy. An important invention in the work environment was the assembly line. The assembly line was used when semi-finished assembly moved from workstation to workstation, where the parts are added in sequence until the final product is assembled. In the work area, women and African Americans made significant advances during the war. However, at the end of wartime, a post-war recession created a competitive job market. By 1920, there were fewer women in the workforce than there had been in 1910. During the war, inflation had occurred. After the conflict, Americans rushed to buy consumer goods rather than war bonds. The scarcity of these goods, coupled with widespread demand, causing inflation.
Women's fashions in the early 1920s experienced dramatic changes following the end of the First World War, in a period often referred to as the Roaring Twenties, the era of the flapper. 1920s dresses were lighter due to less material and were brighter and shorter than ever before. Fashion designers played with fabric colors, textures, and patterns to create totally new styles of dress. Evening dresses, coats, and jackets were often trimmed with fur. Hemlines rose for the most of the decade, but dropped slightly towards the end. Shoes and stockings assumed a greater prominence now that they were more visible. Silk stockings in all colors of the rainbow, often with patterns, were designed to match the coordinated outfits of the stylish woman.
About the radios in the 1920s. The radios in the 1920s helped start something new. They helped spread new dances, new dance moves. They helped spread information about the flappers and different pop cultures that's never been introduced before. And the radios did. The radio was developed in 1890s by an Italian inventor named Guglielmo Marconi. Before the 1920s, the radio was an innovation used by a small group of military technicians, telephone operators, and amateur wireless operators. Then, in 1920, an executive of the Westinghouse Company started radio station KDKA in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It was an immediate success. Within 3 years, there were almost 600 licensed radio controllers.
In the 1900s, baseball was on the rise of becoming America's most popular sport. Due to the success of Babe Ruth, many people that were struggling during the Great Depression still felt the need to entertain themselves when they had leisure time, so they attended baseball games to witness the legend himself. The 1919 World Series, also known as the Black Sox scandal, was mostly known for being fixed. 8 players reported of the Black Sox, also known as the Chicago White Sox in today's era, were later accused of intentionally losing games in exchange for money from gamblers.
September 30th, thousands come hoping to see Ruth hit the 60th home run that will break his record. But in 3 trips to the plate, the Babe doesn't do it. The season is almost over. It's now the 8th inning of the game with the Washington Senators, and it will be Ruth's last time at bat. Washington's Tom Zachary gets ready. Strike 1 is called. It's high, a ball. Zachary gets ready. The Babe has done it. 60 home runs in one season. One of the greatest records in baseball.
Crime rate has increased tremendously since the adding of the Dry Amendment, passed with help of many temperance groups. There has been a large increase in theft, burglary, homicide, assault and battery, and drug addiction. Authorities have caught a number of establishments illegally selling drugs and alcohol in secret. These speakeasies are being found all over the state. So are the prohibition groups like the Women's Christian Temperance Union. Organized crime gangs have begun to gain great influence over the nation. Some gangs have been caught in the act of smuggling goods across borders.